Welcome to this Akashic Records reading. We are going to be bringing through messages, channeled information, and insights. And also, we're going to be connecting in with some of the goddesses I work with. So let's get started. So, welcome. If it's your first time coming to my channel and you've never seen a reading by me, I'm so excited you're here. And a little bit about how I do these readings. So I have been a psychic medium and a energy healer for quite some time. And I also work as a Magdalene Rose Priestess. And so what that means is I'm always bringing through information, guidance, and wisdom channeled in these messages to help you on your spiritual path throughout your life for your highest good and for healing. So I do that and keep that in mind. And as I'm tuning into this energy, remember these readings are always timeless. And so they'll find you just when they are meant for you. All of the timestamps will be below. And let me know in the comments if you enjoy this reading. So I'm going to tune in. And when I'm tuning in, I'm also tuning into your energy field collectively. And this is meant for the people that listen to this, that find it, and that connect with it. And it will bring forth a message that'll really help you. So I just have to say something. As I'm in this energy, and this might be for some of you feminines, some of you divine feminines, if you identify with that, I'm feeling a lot going on in the lower chakras, in the lower part of the body, also referred to as the womb space. And this can be several different things. So there's a lot of activation right now for many of you because you are clearing out a lot of the heavier energies related to the negative masculine energy, the toxic patriarchal energy, and the things that have really kept you stuck and blocked, where you've been synthesizing information, probably, and energy, I should say. It's more energy. You've been taking on people's energy for not just from this lifetime, but for millennia. And so you're just at this point where you're starting to recognize the way I feel is not me. The way I am perceiving this situation has nothing to do with my energy. Some of you are also beginning to understand how you feel over time, that maybe some of the masculines in your life have almost branded your energy. And what I mean by that is that they have put a territorial stamp on your womb space, claimed it as their own. Something I want to also let you know, as a priestess, when I work with clients and in sacred circle, we clear out these energies so that we can bring forth and allow what is innate to emerge within you. And so that often means we're clearing out this energy that's from past lives and also ancestral things that happened to you in your lifetimes in this incarnation. And so the energy here is very much connected to that. So we're going to get just started. And I'm being drawn. I always follow where the guides are taking me. And I do work with my own guides and other deities I work with, but I also work with a group of goddesses that are known as the Rose Council. And we'll talk more about them over time. And feel free to ask me about them in the comments. So just to let you know, I'm cutting the deck here and I'm getting two specific cards here. So I'm getting the King of Cups energy, which, as we know, relates to emotion and relationship. It can be someone who's a bit more evolved emotionally, who's probably pretty good about sharing their feelings, that they can understand your feelings, and that they have a range of emotion. They're not boxed in. But also we have the Ten of Wands. So this is this burden that more than likely you're carrying. Now, part of this experience, this reasoning of the burden, but then also the evolution and the cosmic blueprint to what this a higher version of a masculine, emotionally open and mature masculine who's wise means that you are, in fact, let's say you're in a relationship with someone and they are more ascended, they are more evolved, they're a better version of the people that you've partnered with in the past, even if these are friends or people you're dating, or if you're a male dating a male, there's a more evolved version, right? But you still, what happens is when you meet someone who is more evolved and someone closer to what you want, thing to know is sometimes what's going to come up is things from your past. And again, it may not be anything from this lifetime. So you are going through what I'm going to call is like a limit clearing in this relationship or this connection. And that's just happening in your energy, in your blueprint. And you'll notice it in your chakras. You'll notice it in your moods. Your emotions are going to be elevated during this time. So there's a lot going on. So we're going to just pull out, I'm hearing from the guides, we'll pull out 4 cards. I'm also going to see what goddesses are around to give us some wisdom. So I'll just tune in and see who's coming forth. I feel an older, mature goddess coming in, someone I would consider to be wise. Let's just see who this may be. I'm going to give you the characteristics of this goddess first. She feels that she's European descent. Possibly she's Norse, but she also feels as though she has a maturity. Okay, I got it. So this is actually feels a lot like Frigg, who is Odin's wife. And she's patient. She is has a steely resolve because after all, she's married to Odin. So that in and of itself is a challenge, can be habits. You have to hold the level as a goddess of a very strong masculine, and you and yourself have to be a strong feminine. I think that's why she's coming forward. And she is represented here in the Queen of Pentacles, right? The Queen of Pentacles is very grounded, very stable, very reliable, not very flappable. And so this is part of the energy I'm hearing that you're learning to emulate and tune into in your own sort of marking your DNA and who you are, but also you're calling forth those own feminine mentors you've had throughout your life, whether you're masculine or feminine, and you're getting this wisdom, this guidance from them, and they could even be in the spirit world, but you're at this point where you're needing that extra bit of support and encouragement, because you're changing and letting go of old patterns and things that no longer serve you. But sometimes you need someone in your corner who feels very stable. And Frigg, this Norse goddess, she has that energy. She's very stable, and she has a practicality to her. So if you, in fact, have maybe you have a grandmother in the spirit world or a spirit guide who feels very grounded, is helping you feel as though you're not, that no matter what the change is going on for you, you're going to be okay. That's what I'm hearing there. You're going to be okay. Now, the reason I'm also saying that is because this is coming right next to the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands has to do with possibly going out, traveling, new experiences, new passions, and changing. So if you're, say, for example, leaving a relationship or leaving a place where you felt really stable, or growing and maybe trying out a new part of your career, maybe you're going to graduate school, just sort of going out of what you had before, there's a need to feel that sense of stability. There's a need to feel grounded. And especially if you're not leaning on, again, I'm going back into this, like the womb space, if you're releasing the fears, the entrapments and the cycles that kept you stuck in a pattern, maybe a relationship or a situation that one for your highest good, and kept you feeling smaller, that would make sense why you're calling upon an energy like Frigg's to anchor you, or in fact, a grandmother. This does come forth for me too here with the Page of Pentacles. Definitely is when we're in a time of, like, we are learning something new. We are in the apprentice stage. So that often looks like we want to invest in something new. We want to learn something new. We want to build something new. It could be you branching out on your own, starting your own business, things like that, growing in a certain way. But it's very interesting. I've never noticed, I love this deck. I've had it for a long time, but I've never noticed there's a little dragonfly right there on this beautiful blossom, which is I always looked at winged creatures as being like spirit messengers. So that's again a sort of a like someone in the spirit world helping you right now. Along with the Six of Pentacles, again, I'm seeing like a little tiny man right there. These are, I feel like spirit, spirit communicators, spirit helpers, reaching out as we're going through this process of growth and ascension and change, that we have someone in our ear just helping us. Now, I do mediumship readings. And by the way, if you're ever interested in getting a private reading, all the links are found on this page. You can easily grab them, as well as the other things that I offer. And so there's this connection. I feel like this is partially when we lean on our loved ones in the spirit world or our guides. Often it's because we're in transition and we want to feel that sense of security and stability, or we're not sure what comes next. Six of Pentacles definitely feels like it's a energy of giving and getting something back from a dynamic, typically with someone that you're comfortable with, where you feel like you need that support and help, and you're in turn giving that support and help. So that's a really nice energy and dynamic. Let's continue on this reading, see which direction it's going in. We have the Two of Cups and the Lovers card coming in. Two of Cups is definitely first and foremost your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the intuitive part of you, the divine feminine part of you, and then the masculine part of you, which is the action step. So both of you both parts of you learning to balance and weave both parts of these aspects into harmony. So you're learning to stop, listen to your intuition. You're learning to, instead of act quickly, take a dive in and challenge yourself a little bit to not just go by default, which is to either shut down or analyze things too much, but really trust yourself. And then you've got the Lovers card coming, and the Lovers card can be about something you really have a deep heart connection with. It could be a relationship, it could be a person, but also it can just be something you're making a change, going on to the next phase, because it is a card that asks you to change. So this motion of like, again, leaving, that's the thing I'm getting here. Really this sense of you're in a decision phase and you're waiting to go to the next step. Now we also have this Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. It's a really nice, a good complement here. Okay. So the one thing I'm hearing is getting your ducks lined up in a row. So if you find yourself in this piece of things, if you're at the point where you're again wanting to move on, wanting to do something differently, wanting to try something new, possibly, a new phase in your life, you're vacillating between making decisions, but it doesn't feel like it's a long-term thing being stuck is what it feels like. It just feels like you're checking in, being practical and letting your intuition guide you. And then knowing, Eight of Cups, that eventually you will move on from where you are into something else. All right. So let me get a message from the goddesses here, because I can feel them again coming in. And we have a couple of them here, which doesn't surprise me. We have a bunch of them just popping out. So let me tune in and close my eyes for a second, and I'll just see what I could hear from them to let me know. So we have several. I really do feel like many of you are starting to, again, awaken to this new paradigm, to a new way of living, more embodied, in touch with your spiritual abilities, using your intuition on a regular basis, going on your healing journey, wanting to have more balance and inner guidance, and that really is showing up here. So many of the goddesses that are coming out right now for you, I feel like we have some of the Hellenic goddesses coming forth. I get a sense that we have Aphrodite here is who I'm hearing, but also we have Hecate coming forth. That's a combination. So we have all that beautiful, this is the Death card, which is, it's a card of Scorpio, transformation, but also means going from one place to the next. That's very much Hecate. But you'll also notice the Death card is a beautiful card if you look at the traditional meaning, and there's usually flowers and roses there. So for me, right, a symbol that I'm getting a lot for Aphrodite is specifically roses, and I'm working with her more. So I do feel like there's a combination of them coming through in this message for whether you're working with them or not. This is the message, but it really is showing me that, even through the hardest transitions, that there is beauty and there are new beginnings and things are developing and things are shifting and changing. And, as you go through, and I'm getting a lot of pressure in my heart chakra too at the same time, as you go through these changes, know that it is perfectly okay to slow down, catch your breath. Do not feel like you have to push yourself so much. That's really what I'm getting so strongly. You've got these powerful allies coming in. The Death card, transformation, and then the Sun card, which is the card of success and fulfillment and a job well done and going through this big transformational process and feeling as though you're starting anew wherever you are. Many of these readings that I offered are usually messages for your spiritual path because I'm tapping into the Akashic Records of the collective. And this can be applied to the parts of your life that just make sense to you. This might be job. This might be mirroring a relationship. This might be a relationship with yourself. This might be family, old hurt, shadow you're dealing with. But these messages are coming through like a friend giving you the best guidance. That's what I'm hearing. So we will accept that. Let's take a few of these cards here for the oracle. Let's see what the message is. If you haven't enjoyed this reading, I would love for you to make a comment. Just let me know so I can also say hello to you. And please feel free, if you enjoyed it, to like, follow, and subscribe. It helps my little channel so much. And it helps me make more content, helps me stay steady on my feet here on YouTube, and we can grow together. Okay, this is so fascinating. And these are some of Rebecca Campbell's deck. I believe this is Work Your Light or Starseed maybe. This is interesting. These go together. And this is exactly what I'm working with. So I have a membership called Goddess Rising. There's more information about it here. And we work a lot with the awakening journey. We work a lot with the divine feminine. We work with the goddesses. We work with going back to, I say, more earth-based spiritual practices, and also connecting in with the cosmos as well as the, cycles of the moon. And often we are working with star beings. That comes through in our work. So this is why it's interesting. We have this cracked open, rock bottom, surrendering to the alchemy of life. Notice how this is like a tower. This is definitely spiritual awakening. Notice how she's just cracking herself open and ready to. She's just like at the point where she's just ready to open up. This is what we work on in Goddess Rising. And then we have this, the soul memory. We are remembering who we are as a spiritual being. We're beginning to get the little moments of why we came here and incarnated on earth. That's what I love about I do Akashic Records reading is we read the soul blueprint, we read your purpose, your plan, and you get to tap into that. And then you can learn to do it yourself as well, because I teach classes in that. So this says, I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Oh, I just love that so much for you. I'm feeling that I want for one more, so let's just do that. Activated earth. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. This is magic. So as we know, there are ley lines all over this earth, which are power centers of energy and access points. And it's also where a lot of spiritual teachers for centuries have said, these connect us in with star grid, right? So this is how we can heal, communicate, and connect. I want to thank you so much again for being here. I cannot wait to see you in the next reading. And please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.